Let's face it, the obsession with protein has reached a fever pitch. We've been told that if we just get enough of it, we can achieve anything: build muscle, lose fat, improve recovery, or boost performance. But what if I told you that there's a crucial part of the story that's often left out? What if protein alone isn't the muscle-building miracle it's made out to be? Now, don't get me wrong, protein is essential. It's the building block of muscle tissue, and without it, you simply won't be able to maintain or grow muscle. But if you rely on protein alone to reach your muscle-building goals, you're overlooking a much bigger picture, one that involves your brain, your hormones, and your nervous system. The truth is, building and maintaining muscle isn't just about hitting a protein target every day. It's about understanding the intricate neurobiology that supports muscle growth, recovery, and maintenance. This includes the role of stress, sleep, movement, and even social connection. It's all interconnected, so while protein might be the brick in the wall, it's far from the only factor that holds it all together. Today, we're going to dive into how your brain and body collaborate to decide how much muscle you actually keep and why protein, while necessary, can't do it alone. We'll explore the science of muscle maintenance, the importance of balancing muscle-building signals with recovery, and the intricate roles of sleep, stress, and hormones in shaping your results. By the end of this, you'll have a clearer, more actionable understanding of how to optimize your muscle-building efforts using science-backed tools and protocols that you can implement right away. Here's the key takeaway. Your muscle-building efforts hinge on a combination of factors, from protein to your body's recovery process to the environment you create for your muscles. And in order to truly optimize your results, you need to understand the neuroscience behind it all. So let's start breaking this down. When it comes to building muscle, protein has long been heralded as the star player. And while protein is undeniably vital for muscle synthesis, we need to take a step back and ask, is protein alone enough? The answer, backed by solid research, is a resounding no. The reality is more nuanced, and understanding this nuance is critical for anyone serious about optimizing their muscle-building efforts. Protein provides the raw materials, amino acids that your muscles use to repair and grow after a workout. But here's the catch. It's not just about how much protein you consume, it's about when you consume it, how you use it, and the conditions under which your body is primed to use it effectively. First, let's talk about timing. Research shows that the most effective muscle synthesis happens when protein is consumed within a specific window after exercise, ideally within 30 to 60 minutes. This period, often referred to as the anabolic window, is when your muscles are most receptive to nutrient uptake. However, studies like the one conducted by Schoenfeld et al. 2013 reveal that while this window is important, its effects are often overstated. As long as you're consuming adequate protein throughout the day, you can still see significant muscle gains, so long as you're aligning your protein intake with your workout routine and overall recovery. But protein is only part of the equation. For protein to be used effectively, your muscles need to be activated. This is where strength training comes in. When you lift weights, you induce tiny tears in muscle fibers, and protein helps repair those fibers, making them stronger. Without sufficient muscle activation, however, even the highest quality protein will have minimal effect. This highlights the importance of progressive overload in your training, gradually increasing the weight or intensity of your workouts to ensure that your muscles are sufficiently stressed and activated. Moreover, it's not just about protein quantity, quality matters too. Complete proteins, which contain all 9 essential amino acids, are the best choice for muscle growth. Foods like lean meats, eggs, and certain plant-based proteins like quinoa and soy provide these essential amino acids in the right proportions. On the other hand, incomplete proteins, such as those found in many grains and legumes, lack one or more of these amino acids, which means your body has to work harder to make use of them. Finally, it's important to consider that protein is only effective if your body is in a state conducive to muscle growth. If you're not managing your stress, sleep, and recovery properly, your body may not be able to fully utilize the protein you consume. This is where the broader framework of muscle building comes in. In the next section, we'll dive into how your brain plays a pivotal role in determining how effectively your body can use the protein you're eating. So next time you think about protein, remember, it's important, but it's just one part of the equation. The key to optimizing your muscle gains lies in combining protein intake with a deeper understanding of your body's overall muscle building environment. If this insight resonates, consider subscribing to the channel. There's more science-backed strategies where this came from. Muscle maintenance isn't just about protein and exercise. It's also about how your brain and nervous system respond to those stimuli. In fact, your brain plays an essential role in regulating muscle growth and breakdown, and understanding this can give you a huge edge in optimizing your muscle gains. The brain doesn't just coordinate movement, it controls the very processes that allow muscles to repair, grow, and maintain their mass. The motor cortex, for example, is responsible for initiating voluntary muscle movement. When you're lifting weights, your motor cortex is sending signals to your muscles telling them to contract. However, your muscles won't grow unless there's a feedback loop that tells your brain to keep increasing muscle recruitment and stress. Here's where it gets interesting. Muscle growth is not simply a result of muscle activation. It's also a feedback loop from your nervous system. After you work out, your brain assesses the stress you've put on your body and sends out signals that promote recovery, or conversely, that signal muscle breakdown if the stress is too much. Your brain's response to exercise is influenced by a number of factors, including the intensity of your workout, your body's energy reserves, and your emotional state. For instance, when you experience physical stress, your brain releases signals that can promote muscle adaptation. This is why mental toughness and focus during exercise play a key role in your results. The harder you push, the stronger the signal your brain sends to build muscle. The central nervous system, CNS, also plays a crucial role in muscle recovery. In fact, the more efficiently your CNS works to repair and regenerate muscle tissue, the faster and better your muscles will recover. This is why you can't simply rely on protein intake alone. If your nervous system is in a state of constant fatigue, you're not giving your muscles the signals they need to grow. A prime example of this is the role of neuroplasticity in muscle maintenance. Neuroplasticity refers to the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections. Studies like those by McGill et al. 2003 show that the brain's ability to learn new movements or patterns directly impacts muscle activation and growth. So when you learn new exercises or improve your form, you're not just activating muscles differently, you're essentially training your brain to recruit more muscle fibers more efficiently. Think of it like this: your brain is the command center for all muscle building processes. It's not just responding to the weight you're lifting or the protein you're consuming, it's actively managing how your muscles grow, adapt, and repair. This is why optimizing brain health and reducing mental stress are as important as the physical exercises themselves. To make this actionable, focus on exercises that challenge your brain and body. For example, try learning new complex movements that require both concentration and coordination. This could be a new lifting routine or something like yoga or martial arts, which demand a high level of neuroplastic adaptation. As you challenge your brain, you'll also be signaling your muscles to grow in response. So the next time you hit the gym, don't just focus on the weights. Remember that your brain is at the heart of every rep, and optimizing your nervous system for recovery and adaptation is just as important as your protein intake. If you're finding this deep dive into muscle science helpful, consider subscribing for more evidence-based insights that will take your training to the next level. We've all experienced stress in various forms: work pressure, personal challenges, or the grind of intense training. But what you might not realize is that stress, particularly chronic stress, can actively sabotage your muscle-building efforts. The key culprit here is cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone. Cortisol is released by the adrenal glands in response to stress. In short bursts, cortisol plays an important role in energy regulation and performance. It helps mobilize energy stores to fuel the body during moments of acute stress, think fight or flight. However, chronic stress leads to sustained elevated cortisol levels, which can wreak havoc on your body, including your muscles. When cortisol levels remain high over an extended period, it becomes catabolic, meaning it promotes the breakdown of muscle tissue. Cortisol interferes with the repair process by inhibiting protein synthesis, the very process you rely on to rebuild muscle after workouts. Research published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism 2002 shows that long-term elevated cortisol levels can lead to muscle wasting. So even if you're consuming protein and lifting weights, if cortisol is chronically high, your muscle recovery and growth are significantly impaired. But the good news is that there are ways to manage and mitigate stress, which can go a long way in optimizing your muscle gains. One of the most effective tools for managing stress is mindfulness, both meditation and controlled breathing exercise. Research has shown that mindfulness can directly lower cortisol levels. A study published in Psychoneuroendocrinology 2013 found that regular mindfulness practice led to significant reductions in cortisol and improvements in muscle recovery. Another powerful strategy is ensuring you take active recovery days. Overtraining, pushing your body too hard without sufficient rest, is one of the quickest ways to raise cortisol levels. Your body needs time to recover, not just from the physical stress of exercise, but also from the psychological stress that daily life imposes. When cortisol remains high from remote training and external life stressors, you're in a constant muscle breakdown state. Sleep also plays a crucial role in cortisol regulation. Research from the American Journal of Physiology 2011 has shown that inadequate sleep leads to an increase in cortisol levels and a decrease in muscle repair. This is why sleep isn't just about rest, it's about keeping cortisol levels balanced so that your body can shift into muscle building mode, not muscle breaking mode. So, how do you manage stress effectively for muscle maintenance? Consider implementing the following strategies. Mindfulness and meditation. Practice 10-15 minutes of mindfulness or deep breathing exercises every day. This can help lower cortisol levels and promote a more balanced hormonal environment for muscle repair. Active recovery. Incorporate rest days or low-intensity workouts like walking, yoga, or swimming into your routine. These activities can reduce stress while still promoting blood flow to muscles for recovery. Sleep hygiene. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night. Prioritize good sleep hygiene practices, such as limiting screen time before bed and maintaining a regular sleep schedule. Managing cortisol isn't about completely eliminating stress, which is impossible in today's world, but rather learning to balance and regulate it. By keeping your stress levels in check, you're creating an optimal environment for muscle growth, recovery, and maintenance. If you're starting to see the bigger picture, that muscle growth is about more than just lifting weights. Make sure to subscribe for more science-based tools to level up your fitness and health. If you're serious about building muscle, there's one factor you simply cannot afford to overlook: sleep. It's often the most underrated aspect of fitness and recovery, yet it's perhaps the single most crucial element in optimizing muscle growth. Without enough quality sleep, even the best training and nutrition plans will fall short. So why is sleep so important for muscle growth? The answer lies in the powerful biological processes that occur during sleep, especially deep sleep, which plays a vital role in muscle repair and growth. During sleep, your body produces growth hormone, GH, a key player in muscle recovery. Growth hormone levels peak during deep sleep, which is why this stage of the sleep cycle is so important for building muscle. But the benefits of sleep extend beyond just hormone production. Sleep also enhances protein synthesis, which is the process your body uses to rebuild muscle fibers after exercise. In fact, studies such as the one published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research 2016 demonstrate that sleep deprivation can impair protein synthesis and muscle recovery, making it harder to build and maintain muscle mass. Beyond protein synthesis, sleep also helps regulate your body's energy balance and reduces muscle inflammation. After an intense workout, your muscles are stressed and inflamed, and they need time to heal. Sleep is the body's natural repair process, helping to clear out metabolic waste products from your muscles and reduce inflammation. This is why the sleep-deprived often feel sluggish and struggle to recover. Without enough sleep, the body's repair mechanisms can't function optimally. Here's something to consider. The quantity of sleep is important, but the quality of sleep matters just as much. Getting 8 hours of sleep might sound like a good goal, but if you're tossing and turning or not hitting those deep stages of sleep, your muscles are still missing out. Sleep quality is heavily influenced by factors like stress, room temperature, light exposure, and your pre-sleep routine. So, how do you optimize your sleep for muscle growth? Here are a few evidence-based strategies. Prioritize deep sleep. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep, but focus on quality. To promote deeper sleep, keep your room cool, dark, and quiet, and avoid screen exposure at least 30-60 minutes before bed. Sleep schedule consistency. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day helps regulate your circadian rhythm, which supports better sleep quality and hormone production. Limit stimulants. Avoid caffeine and other stimulants in the afternoon and evening, as they can interfere with the ability to fall into deep sleep stages. Wind-down routine. Implement a calming pre-sleep routine, such as reading, meditation, or light stretching. This signals to your body that it's time to relax and transition into restful sleep. When you prioritize quality sleep, you're giving your body the chance to repair and grow muscle more effectively. Sleep is your body's natural muscle-building tool, but you have to create the right environment to make it work. If you're starting to realize just how essential sleep is to muscle growth, make sure to subscribe for more research-backed strategies to enhance your health and fitness. Building muscle isn't just about pushing yourself to the limit in the gym. In fact, one of the most critical factors in muscle maintenance and growth is recovery. And this doesn't mean just taking a break. It means strategically balancing periods of intense activity with proper rest and recovery to maximize the benefits of both. We tend to think of muscle growth as the result of pushing our muscles to the point of exhaustion during every workout. While progressive overload, the gradual increase of stress on muscles over time, is essential, the truth is that muscle building happens between workouts, not just during them. After each intense workout, your muscles need time to repair and adapt. This recovery process is just as important as the training itself. During recovery, the muscle fibers that were broken down during exercise are rebuilt stronger and larger. However, if you don't give your muscles adequate recovery time, this process is interrupted. That's why overtraining can actually result in muscle loss, not growth. In fact, research published in the Journal of Sports Medicine and Physical Fitness, 2013, found that prolonged periods of overtraining lead to muscle fatigue, lower immune function, and even injury. But how can you make sure you're recovering effectively? First, you need to understand that recovery isn't just about taking days off. It's about how you balance different types of movement and rest. Active recovery, low-intensity activities that promote blood flow without causing additional muscle damage, plays a key role in maintaining muscle function and accelerating recovery. Examples of active recovery include walking, swimming, yoga, or even light resistance training. These activities help reduce muscle soreness, maintain flexibility, and improve circulation, which speeds up nutrient delivery to your muscles. Incorporating active recovery days into your routine is a powerful way to support muscle growth, but recovery isn't just about physical rest, it's also about how you approach it mentally. Chronic stress, poor sleep, and emotional tension all contribute to muscle fatigue and delayed recovery. So it's essential to combine physical recovery with strategies for mental relaxation. Practices like meditation, breathing exercises, and mindful movement can help reduce overall stress and promote better recovery by lowering cortisol levels and supporting the body's natural repair mechanism. Here's a practical framework to implement in your routine. Rest days. Incorporate 1 to 2 full rest days per week where you allow your muscles to fully recover. These are days with no intense exercise, giving your body the time it needs to rebuild muscle tissue. Active recovery. On days you're not lifting heavy, engage in light, low-impact activities that encourage circulation. Activities like walking, cycling, or swimming can help flush out metabolic waste and promote healing. Stretching and mobility work. Incorporating flexibility training or mobility exercises can enhance muscle recovery and prevent tightness or injury. Mental recovery. Manage stress through relaxation techniques like meditation, deep breathing, or even journaling. By lowering cortisol, you create a better internal environment for muscle growth. Remember, muscles don't grow during workouts, they grow when you're resting. By balancing intense training with adequate recovery, you'll ensure your muscles have the best chance to repair, rebuild, and grow stronger. Overworking yourself won't lead to better results. It will only cause muscle breakdown. Instead, use the recovery process as a vital component of your muscle building strategy. If you're seeing the importance of recovery in muscle maintenance, make sure to subscribe for more tips on optimizing your training and recovery for peak performance. When we think about building muscle, most of us focus on external factors like exercise and protein. But what's happening inside the body, particularly with your hormones, plays an equally important role in whether or not you're going to see the gains you're working for. Your body's hormonal environment is a powerful influence on muscle growth and maintenance, and 2 hormones in particular, testosterone and insulin, are key players in this process. Testosterone is perhaps the most well-known muscle-building hormone. It plays a crucial role in increasing protein synthesis and supporting muscle repair. Higher levels of testosterone allow for more efficient muscle recovery after a workout and can lead to greater overall muscle growth. That's why men who naturally produce more testosterone than women tend to have more muscle mass. However, women can also build muscle effectively thanks to the smaller but still important amounts of testosterone they produce. Testosterone levels are influenced by several factors, including age, genetics, and lifestyle choices. Research shows that exercise, particularly resistance training, has a direct impact on increasing testosterone levels. A study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research 2014 found that heavy resistance training can increase testosterone levels, particularly in men and younger individuals. But it's not just about lifting heavy weights. The intensity of the workout, the volume, and the frequency also affect how much testosterone is released. It's about challenging the muscles enough to stimulate a hormonal response. But there's a catch. Chronic stress and poor sleep can actually lower testosterone levels. This is yet another reason why managing stress and ensuring you get adequate rest is essential for muscle maintenance. High cortisol levels from chronic stress or overtraining can suppress testosterone production, meaning all the effort you're putting into your workouts and protein intake might not be as effective if your stress and recovery aren't in balance. The second hormone to consider in this process is insulin. While insulin is most often associated with blood sugar regulation, it also plays a crucial role in muscle growth. Insulin is an anabolic hormone, meaning it helps promote muscle build after you eat, particularly a carbohydrate-rich meal. Your insulin levels spike, signaling the body to store energy in muscles and liver cells. This is a critical part of muscle recovery, as insulin helps shuttle nutrients like amino acids and glucose into muscle cells where they can be used for repair and growth. Insulin sensitivity. The body's ability to respond to insulin is another key factor. The more sensitive your body is to insulin, the more efficiently it can use nutrients to build muscle. Insulin resistance, which can develop due to poor diet, lack of exercise, and obesity, can impair muscle recovery and increase fat storage. The good news is that regular exercise, especially resistance training, can increase insulin sensitivity, allowing your body to make better use of the nutrients you consume. So, how can you optimize your hormonal environment for muscle maintenance? Here are a few science-backed strategies. Lift heavy and lift smart. Focus on compound exercises that work multiple muscle groups like squats, deadlifts, and bench presses. These movements are particularly effective at stimulating testosterone production. Aim for moderate to high intensity in our workouts, keeping rest periods short to maximize hormonal response. Manage stress. As we've seen, high levels of stress and cortisol can lower testosterone. Engage in stress-reducing activities like mindfulness, yoga, or meditation. Focus on sleep hygiene to ensure you're getting 7 to 9 hours of restorative sleep each night. Carb timing. Consume a balanced, nutrient-dense meal after workouts, ideally within 30-60 minutes. This meal should include both protein and carbohydrates. The carbs will stimulate an insulin response, aiding in nutrient uptake and muscle recovery. Avoid excessive cardio. While cardio is great for overall health, excessive amounts can elevate cortisol levels and lower testosterone. Instead, balance cardio with resistance training for optimal muscle building. By understanding and optimizing your hormonal environment, you can create the perfect conditions for muscle growth and maintenance. Remember, building muscle is not just about lifting weights and eating protein. It's about the delicate balance of hormones that supports all of those efforts. If you found this deep dive into muscle maintenance helpful, don't forget to subscribe and join our community for more science-backed tips that help you optimize your health, fitness, and performance. We've covered a lot of ground in this speech, and now it's time to pull it all together. Here's the reality. Protein alone won't save your muscle. Muscle maintenance and growth require a holistic approach, one that integrates proper nutrition, smart training, recovery, hormonal optimization, and mental well-being. To summarize, protein is essential, but its effectiveness depends on when you consume it, how your muscles are activated during exercise, and the quality of the protein. Your brain plays a huge role in muscle growth, determining how effectively you activate muscles and recover. Cortisol, a stress hormone, can derail your muscle building efforts if it's chronically elevated. Managing stress and ensuring recovery is critical for muscle maintenance. Sleep is your body's natural repair mechanism. When you prioritize sleep, you give your body the time and conditions it needs to rebuild muscle tissue. Recovery is not just about taking breaks. It's about balancing intense workouts with strategic rest and active recovery. Hormones like testosterone and insulin are key to muscle growth. Optimizing your hormonal environment through smart training, nutrition, and stress management will give you the best shot at building and maintaining muscle. The bottom line, muscle growth is a complex, multifactorial process that requires a balanced approach. No single factor, be it protein, training, or rest, can do it alone. But when you combine the science-backed tools from each of these areas, you create the optimal environment for muscle growth. As a challenge for today, consider this. Pick one area to optimize and focus on it. Maybe it's improving your sleep hygiene, reducing stress, or adding more active recovery to your routine. Start small, but start today. Your muscles will thank you for it. If this content resonated with you, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'd love to hear about your muscle building journey and how you're applying these science-backed insights in your life. Let's grow together.